The disappearance of Pamela Holopainen still continues to be open. She has been missing since the early hours of December the 14th, 2003 in Timmins, Ontario. She was 22 years old at the time and was last seen when she was leaving a party that day and didn't make it back to her residence at 77 4th Avenue in Schumacher, Ontario. Brousseau, who was 25 at the time of her sister's disappearance, said she was told Holopainen got into an argument and planned to walk back home to Schumacher. She said she had called Pamela the following day, but her voicemail was never returned. She tried to drop off Christmas presents for Pamela's two children from their grandmother the next day, but no one answered the door. Christmas came, still no word from Pamela. Vanessa, her sister, said a missing persons report was not filed immediately. We were told by the family that she was probably out drinking and give it a few days. Vanessa told us this. She started to grow frustrated. She said she and her sister Pamela were closer than best friends and they usually talked 3 or 4 times a day. So Christmas 2003 came and went, and then on New Year's Eve, the family heard a story that sent Vanessa and her mom to the police station. Somebody came up to us at Bingo Hall and asked if we had heard that Pamela left her spouse. We said no, and we were shocked. And right away we asked, well, where's the kids? And the kids were told they were at the spouse's. So immediately, Vanessa and her mom went to report her sister missing at the police station. She was reported on December the 31st, 2003, and Vanessa says that the police didn't take her seriously when she reported her sister missing. The missing woman has not contacted her 2 children nor her other family members since the time of her disappearance, and it is unusual for the woman not to be in touch with her family, and it is unknown if foul play was involved. On January the 4th, 2004, Timmins police put out a missing persons notice which read, "There is a possibility that Pamela may have gone into the Hamilton, Ontario area. While police do not expect foul play, members of her family have grown concerned as they have not yet seen or heard from her since a couple of weeks." Family said Pamela was with her common-law spouse at the time. Pamela left behind 2 young sons. Family alleges that authorities waited several weeks after the missing report before conducting searches for Pamela that included the local dump. The Ontario Provincial Police began the investigation at the request of the Timmins Police Service on May the 20th, 2004. The investigation being conducted by members of the South Porcupine OPP Detachment, OPP Northeast Regional, and Timmins Police Service under the direction of the OPP Director, Inspector Dave Truax's Criminal Investigation Branch. Foul play is now strongly suspected in Pamela's case, and authorities believe she is deceased. They found evidence of blood on the walls, floor, and door of her sister's apartment. "You don't want to believe it's true," Vanessa said. "You just hope she ran away, but you know she would have taken her kids." That fall, the OPP searched a landfill using excavation equipment, which they hadn't used prior, and cadaver dogs, but still no known whereabouts of her remains. All these years later, her family awaits news that isn't forthcoming, and living with the unknown may be the hardest part of all. "As much as I pray we find her or her remains, it is still hard for it to become a reality," said Holopaine's older sister Vanessa in a 2017 radio broadcast that was part of a series that shone light on missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls from northeastern Ontario. "My sister was a good mom. She had a good job. She was a good person," Vanessa said. "There's not much you can do when the police are saying this to you, and you don't realize how bad it is until later. You just don't want to believe it's true." Vanessa scans the background of television news reports, hoping to catch a glimpse of her sister. Instead of looking for blueberries in the bush, she said she's looking for bones. You look everywhere for her," she said. "I remember chasing somebody in the Toronto airport because I thought it was her. Turned out it wasn't." Since then, Vanessa said she has tried everything she could think of to find her sister. She traveled across Ontario to meet medicine people, psychics, and even the American television medium Teresa Caputo. There's hard seasons too, like the spring and the fall because of the hunters. She said, as much as I pray that we find her or her remains, it's still hard for it to become a reality. Police review Pamela's case on a regular basis. Vanessa said the investigation has come a long way over the past years with improved communication from them, but she still has concern because she believes that because she was an Aboriginal woman, that it's why she is still missing. She says, I want things to be different, but in order for that to happen, there has to be some acceptance and accountability, admittance of where people gone wrong and what they will do to change that to move anything forward. If they would have taken it seriously when I reported my sister missing, they maybe would have had more evidence. Challenges with national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women are still ongoing. We are trying to get their cases more recognized as everyone deserves to find their loved ones for answers. She is one of the 7 documented cases of the murdered and missing Indigenous women from northeastern Ontario. Pamela was born in 1981 and was 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighing approximately 126 pounds at the time of her disappearance. She is of Inuit descent and has brown hair and blue eyes. She has a web tattoo between her thumb and index finger. She also has the tattoo of initials DI. If you have any information regarding the disappearance or the whereabouts of Pamela Holopainen, you are encouraged to contact the OPP at 705-235-3345 or 1-800-310-1122. And if you wish to remain anonymous, please contact the Crime Stoppers Unit at 1-800-222-8477. And an award of $50,000 is being offered to anyone who can provide information leading to the arrest of those possible for her disappearance.